Hi classes, today we are going to be going over solving equations with variables on both sides of our equation. So if you could turn to your next empty page in your iPod, and we're going to go ahead and title that page, Variables on Both Sides. When we're solving equations with variables on both sides, we have three answer types that we're going to see. So let's go ahead and talk about those right now. The first answer type we're going to have is actually one solution. So we're going to come out with one number that's going to fulfill our equation. The second answer choice we have is no solution. Okay, and let's put next here, this is when we get an untrue statement. And then number 3, or our third answer type, is infinite solutions. And this is going to be when we get a true statement. And these two I will explain when we do our examples a little more in depth. So we're going to do an example of each one of these so you can see how they would look when you work out an actual problem. Let's look at example 1. I want our example 1 to be 6 times w minus 5 is equal to 3w plus 12. Now, think back to our solving equations flowchart that we've been using this past week on our solving equations. We are going to be going through those steps again. I'm not going to go to the flowchart, but if you need to look back at the flowchart, then please do so. The first thing we look for is parentheses or grouping symbols, and we have some, and so we know that means we need to distribute that 6 to these two pieces. So 6 times w is 6w, 6 times negative 5 is negative 30, and that's going to equal, and we're going to bring down the 3w plus 12. Now we know we need to try and get our variables to be on the same side. So we're going to do that by undoing our operation. So I'm going to bring this 3w over to the left, so I'm going to subtract 3w from both sides. When I do that, 6w minus 3w is 3w. Bring down our minus 30 is equal to 3w minus 3w is going to cancel, and then plus 12, so I bring down my 12. Now I need to do the same thing with my numbers. So I'm going to bring this number over to the right so that I just have a variable on one side and all my numbers on the other. So I'm going to do that by doing our operation of addition. Bring down the 3w. Negative 30 plus 30 cancels itself out. Bring down the equal sign. 12 plus 30 is 42. Now I look to see, do I have a coefficient that's other than 1? And I do. And so I get rid of that by doing division. So I'm going to divide both sides by 3. And when I do that, these 3's are going to cancel, leaving us with w. And 42 divided by 3 is 14. So I have an answer of w equals 14. Now let's look at our next example. So for example 2, we are going to do 18x plus 6 is equal to 3 times 6x plus 1. Again, I'm going to look for our grouping symbols first. So I have those on the right, which means I need to distribute. So I'm going to bring down the 18x plus 6 on the left. 3 times 6x is 18x, and 3 times 1 is 3. Now I need to get my variables on the same side. So I'm going to do our inverse operation here. I'm going to undo the addition by doing subtraction. So I'm going to subtract 18x from both sides. When I do that, I get 18x minus 18x on the left, and that's going to cancel. I'm going to bring down my 6. Then I have 18x minus 18x on the right, which is also going to cancel, and I'm going to bring down my 3. Now I need to look at this statement. It says that 6 is equal to 3. Is that true? No. So I have an untrue statement there. It is not true. And remember, if we have an untrue statement, then our answer is going to be no solution. Now let's look at our last example. So for example 3, we are going to do 3 times x plus 8 plus 5x is equal to 2 times 12 plus 4x. So now we're going to do our grouping symbols, and we have some on the left and we have some on the right. So we need to distribute both of those. So 3 times x is 3x, 3 times 8 is 24. Bring down our 5x. 2 times 12 is 24, and 2 times 4x gives us 8x. Now I'm going to combine any like terms I have, because I have two x's on the left. So when I do 3x plus 5x, I get 8x. Bring down our 24, and then bring down the 24 plus 8x that's on the right. If I look at this statement here, this looks strangely like the commutative property, doesn't it? And that is because it is. I have all positive values here, so I could rewrite this right side so that it would read 8x plus 24 equals 8x plus 24. When that happens, okay, that means we have the same thing on both sides. We have an infinite number of solutions, but let's prove it mathematically. So we are going to move our variable over, so subtract 8x from both sides. When I do that, 8x minus 8x is going to cancel, bring down our 24, bring down our equal sign, bring down our next 24, and then 8x minus 8x is going to cancel. Here, does 24 equal 24? And it does, so now I have a true statement. And remember, whenever we have a true statement, our answer is going to be an infinite number of solutions. So I'm going to come down here and write infinite solutions. Okay, that's the notes for variables on both sides. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to go do your summary.